Hey guys, welcome to the second devlog of my platformer game called Unique or UniQ. In this video I will tell you about all the progress I managed to make after releasing my first devlog. So, if you watched my last devlog, you know that I had a soul mechanic in my game. A lot of you liked the idea of this mechanic, but after I tested this mechanic a bunch, I realized that it's really not that cool and I won't be able to create a lot of good levels with it. Also, some people in the comment section of the last video gave me some good reasons why this mechanic will not work. Apart from all of that, this mechanic is just more suitable for a puzzle platformer game. And at that point I had a question: what I want my game to be. I was thinking a lot about what type of platformer my game is. I was choosing between a puzzle platformer like Fez and precise platforming and movement type of platformer like Celeste. I enjoy puzzle platformers, but I can't really say that I'm a big fan of them. I really like fast-paced games with cool movement mechanics though, like recently released game called Pizza Tower, which I enjoyed playing a lot. So I decided that I should come up with some new mechanic that will better suit the action genre of my game. And not gonna lie, I had some hard time deciding what this mechanic should be. You see, I wanted it to be something unique and original. Dash has already been used by Celeste. Using your weapon or some item to create unique movement techniques has already been used by several games. But there's one movement mechanic that not a lot of platformer games use. It is sliding. And yes, there are some games that use it like Mega Man and Pizza Tower, but I think I'm gonna use it in a slightly different way. So, I started making the basic ground slide mechanic. I had some tough time creating the slide animation because my main character consists of only 103 pixels. And it's pretty hard to make readable and at the same time unique and charismatic animations. But still, I think I managed to do that. Because my character is just a regular pizza delivery guy, I want his animations to seem a little clumsy and silly. He gets put in this stranger world he doesn't know anything about. Yet, he still needs to do intense parkour in order to pass the level, even though he's not good at sports at all. Back to the sliding mechanic, my idea is that when the player presses the slide button, he gets a slight boost in speed. Then his speed slowly decreases and eventually becomes 0. You can cancel the slide by pressing the slide button again. For now, I decided to bind the slide button to the right bumper of the gamepad and to the shift key on the keyboard. Later in the development, I will add the option to rebind all the default keybinds to the player's liking. And that's how ground sliding looks right now. You see, I used to play a lot of first-person shooter games, like Apex Legends for example. And in this game, there's a feature that allows you to perform a slight jump boost. To perform such a thing, you need to do a slide and then do a jump shortly after you started sliding. Because the slide itself gives you a boost in speed, if you combine it with a jump, you will perform a longer and higher jump. A lot of advanced players use this technique to gain high speed, and also it's just pretty fun. I've never seen anyone implement such a thing in a platformer game, so I thought that I should add this feature to my game. I created some special animations for this slight jump boost mechanic, and this is how this feature looks like in the game. As you can see, there's a yellow trail effect when the player performs this slight jump boost. While creating this mechanic, I came up with a cool little additional feature. My idea is that when the player performs some line of actions perfectly, the game will encourage him by giving him this yellow trail, which will indicate that the player currently has a boost on him. During this boost, he has higher jumps, faster running speed, and so on. That mechanic will also make the gameplay a lot faster and more dynamic. I decided to add such a thing because I was inspired by Pizza Tower and its super fast-paced gameplay. Also, one of my other inspirations was the game called Neon White. The mechanics and levels of this game are built in a special way, and they allow any player to feel like an experienced speedrunner. So I thought that adding something similar to this in my game would be cool, especially because I myself really enjoy this type of games. I decided that speedrunning the level should be one of the main objectives of the player in my game also. Of course, it's not going to be exactly like in Neon White. My idea is that there's going to be a hexagon, which is a cube right now, but I'll change it a bit later, that the player will need to collect in order to finish the level. That hexagon will slowly change its color with time. So, for example, when you first start the level, it will be purple. Then after about, let's say, 20 seconds, it will become red, and then eventually just yellow. That means that the faster you complete the level, the better colored hexagon you will get. And the ending of the game will change, and maybe some additional cool stuff will unlock depending on what colored hexagons you collect on the levels. So, how do you guys like those mechanics? Please tell me your opinion in the comments. It's really important for me to hear feedback from other people. Also, it's really hard for me to tell whether the game is fun or not, because I'm so used to it after many hours of developing and testing it. So I'm definitely going to be releasing the first test build of the game pretty soon on my Patreon, and a little later on my itch page for everyone to play, so I could receive as much feedback as possible. If you want to support me and my game, consider subscribing to my Patreon. The link will be in the description. I will post some exclusive content about my game there, as well as the first demos of the game. Also, you can check out my Ko-fi page. As you can see, I also started prototyping the very first level. Actually, I've sketched out some other levels and I'll be implementing them soon too. I'm sure they will need a lot of tweaking, so these versions of the levels are not final. Also, I've changed some animations, but it might be a little bit hard to notice. And that's pretty much it for this devlog. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave your opinion about the game in the comments. See ya in the next video.